Hi everyone, welcome to Yin today. We're still working on neck release, external internal rotation, maybe some flexion extension. So I hope you're all doing well. Happy Sunday. And I'm going to get started on the mat. So just follow along. And I do want to mention everyone's tissue um, is different. So if you feel like, so your tissue tolerance is different. So if you feel like your tolerance of holding a pose for 4 minutes, even 2 minutes is enough, is too much at four, just please come out. I applaud you for knowing where your limitations are. That's really important because everyone's tolerance is different. So if you come out earlier or stop or back off, absolutely do that. Okay. Because some of them, it's a long time. Okay. All right. So come on over to your mat. And we're going to start by setting an intention for our practice. Today, I found this in my stuff. It's just, how I used to at the studio have those little circles you can put under your knees. Well, this is actually made for the knees. It's really a thick yoga mat too as well, but even a little thicker. So if you need something under your knees, you can grab something, and if you have an extra yoga mat, you can even roll up the end of your mat like that. A lot of people do that actually, and use that as a knee support when you're doing, because we're going to do a child. We're going to start a little different. We'll probably start in seated and do an intent, like set our intention for our practice today. And then we're going to come to child pose. Okay. So I want people to be comfortable. And I'll show you some, variations in that as well. So let's set our intention for practice. Just come to seat, and you can sit any way you want here. You can sit crossing your legs, you can just cross like this and whatever you want. One leg out, both legs out, if you're more comfortable. We're not going to stay long in the seated. We're just going to close our eyes or look softly down and set your intention. Why did you come to yoga, but to Yin Yoga today? What do you hope to gain from taking this class? And just take a deep breath in, long breath out, releasing these shoulders down the back. And may goodness and kindness connect us today. Goodness and kindness connect all of us in the universe today. Breathing in that kindness, breathing out worry and doubt, breathing in connectedness with all of nature, human beings, other human beings, and breathing out the feeling of disconnect, the feeling of loneliness, and being alone on the planet. And let the breath just come in deeply and evenly and smoothly through the nasal passage without pause and without sound. Hold that intention in your heart center. And when you're ready, come back into the room you're in, open your eyes, and we're going to move into supported child. So again, if you need something under your knees, go ahead. This is a little close, this knee support. But anyways, I just want to show you that. I'm not going to actually use that, but I found it, which is a good thing. If you have a bolster, you can take that up to your inside of your inner thighs. These are all options. You can extend forward and rest your cheek here. If you want to use blocks, like a block, you need to come up higher for some reason, but you can also put it under your forehead. Okay. You don't have to use any props. All right. You can take all the props away and come down and come down. Okay, you can bring your knees closer, and remember, you can also bring your feet apart and sit inside the heels. That might feel better to your hip socket, right? To your hips. Okay, so find that place in the body that's going to feel comfortable. I'm going to set the timer, and we are going to hold this a little bit. So I'll talk a little and I'll be silent a little. I'll do a little bit of both. So you get to, have some silence too. That's important. So exhale into child, sinking down. Again, if you feel, you feel too much sensation in the target areas, the hips and the glutes, or your knees are bothering you, come out earlier. Maybe just rest in Supine Shavasana on your back, okay, until we move into another pose. But yin is functional alignment. It's really about how do we get into these target areas. So even for every so often, try not to concentrate as much. We're trained to concentrate on our breathing, but how about concentrating on the sensations, right? It's about the sensations in the body. So instead of right now, take a few moments and concentrate as you hold child pose in the sensation of the pose. Where's the target area? It's functional alignment. What is going on? Where are you feeling the sensation? Like usually in child, I feel it in my hips, in my glutes, certainly in the knees, in the calves, the quads, but do you feel it there? Where do you feel the sensation? Are you getting into those target area? So it's about looking closely at our inner experience in the pose. So try to just, instead of right now, let's go inside and look closely into the inner experience, find the target areas that you're working with here as you hold this posture, maybe 4 minutes, but you have about 2 more minutes. So in yin, we're exercising the deep tissue again, the connective tissue in and around the joints. And that's what you're feeling. So you're feeling this deep connective tissue. We're relaxing, and you want to do that too. So breathe into that area. Oops, I'm saying breathe again. I'm very trained to do that. But notice the area, around the sweet edge of the muscles, around the joints. What do those feel like? What does that hip joint feel like? All around that hip joint, And when we relax those muscles around the joints, we're allowing, whoops, sorry, shut this off. Okay. All right. So when we relax the muscles around, around the sweet edge, so the muscles, we want the muscles around the joint tissue to receive the repair and to help remodel the tissues into a more healthier state. Okay. So as we hold this posture, we're remodeling into a more healthy state. Okay, 1 more minute. You're almost there. So I'll be quiet here as you hold the child for 1 more minute. Okay, as you're ready, come on up from child, and you can come actually right down to prone shavasana. Come right down to your stomach and rest down in prone shavasana. So you can cross your arms, rest your forehead on your forearms as I'm doing, or you can just bring your arms by your side, turn your cheek to the side and round the spine in prone shavasana. And just notice that. Notice how that feels for you for just another little longer, not much here. Okay, so we're integrating what we just did in child. If it feels good to bend the knees and rock the lower leg side to side, absolutely do that. Let's draw the arms under us now, coming up for Sphinx pose. So Sphinx, you can bring your hands together like in Namaste hands and just be here like this. But remember, neck release. Let's release the neck. And actually give a comparison. If I hold my neck, so I'm looking straight ahead, head, neck, and trunk align, what does the low back feel like when you do that? And as you drop your head down, what does the low back feel like? See if you notice any difference in the change of the movement of the neck, of the cervical spine. Okay, so I'm lifting my head and I'm here. And now I'm just going to lower the head. Let the head dangle. So I feel that changes the target area. So when I'm up like this, I feel more compression in the low back. See if you notice that. If I let my head dangle, I feel more extension or gentle stress in the back of the neck and less compression in the low back. You can nod your head yes and no if you like your head dangling here for a moment. But just find where you want to have your head. You know, what feels good. Maybe doing both during this time that we're holding the pose. Oops. Or maybe just one. You choose one, okay? Another variation, if you're not feeling enough sensation, then bend your knees and try that, right? And then see what you notice. And then even release the neck or not, you know, but you want to feel, you want to play that sweet edge a little bit. You can look right to left, even with your head up. Release the neck a little bit here. Nudge your head. Or keep it down there and just rock your head. Let the head dangle, the neck dangle down. Or stay more static. You can keep your legs down. You're almost there. Notice the sensations in the posture. Notice the target areas. So bring your attention to target areas. What are your shoulders feeling like in this posture? Okay, as you're ready, you can cross your arms if you want, or turn your cheek to the side, release all the way down for Supine Shavasana. Now, last week we did open wing pose for the shoulder opener. So I'm going to give you, I'm going to do that with a frog, half frog pose. All right. So it's going to be similar, but a little different. So you're going to stretch your right arm out. So I'm going towards this wall. I'm going to move in a little bit. So I get my arm straight out. You see my arm? And then I'm going to just lie down again. Okay. And I'm going to bring my left knee in like this. And then I'm just going to kind of bring that left knee in, like in the half frog posture. And you can just rest your left hand on your waist. Hold this 3 minutes. All right. You can lift this arm up and squeeze back. So here's a couple variations here. You're in half frog with the knee up. Right leg is straight, left knee bent, and left arm can be here. For that matter, it can rest on the mat or the floor or in the back, waist, or waist or something. And your right arm is straight out from your right shoulder. So you're stretching too. The pectorals, everybody's tight in the pecs, everyone has that very, very commonly, so this should feel good to the right side of the front of the chest there, as well as opening right shoulder. And same here, if I bring my arm up and squeeze back, I feel that lemon squeeze too. Now your arm might get tired in the air for 3 or 4 minutes, but do what you can. That means you can just rest it down, Feeling the sensations in the target areas, maybe close your eyes, just relax into the yin pose here. Cooling postures. Cooling, receptive poses. Just receive what comes in. Feeling the gentle target area, maybe the stress of the pectorals there. Gently to mild to moderate stress there. Shoulders, maybe compression back in those shoulder blades. Gentle stress on the quad here on the left in this frog. And do your body scan. See if you notice different areas here, what's going on in the body as you hold this yin posture. Half frog, open wing. Almost there. See if you notice too, as you hold this posture, how we tense up a little bit. There's a little resistance. I talked about this last time. We resist a little. And this is a good one, I resist as I lift my arm, or I resist as I turn. And then I relax. I receive, I release to the floor. All right, let's take that left hand down to the floor, press through that left hand, straighten that left leg, come into prone shavasana again. Turn your cheek to the other side if you like it like this in prone shavasana. Take a few resting breaths. And then before we do the other side, let's press up. Bring your knees forward a little bit, walking forward. And I want you to grab 2 blocks. And if you don't have 2 blocks, you could actually use a chair seat, a piece of furniture. You could just use the mat. But I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm putting the blocks in first position here, like that, okay? I put them together. You can use 1 block too. Your elbows are gonna just be closer together. I like 2. I'm gonna put them down on my mat. I'm gonna put my elbows on this. I'm gonna interlace my fingers. I'm gonna walk my knees now further back. Bring my head maybe between my arms and my hands, interlace hands back. Okay, so as you sit down a little bit here, you might feel the tricep as a target area. So the triceps are right under your arm here, the upper arm bone. All right, let me set that. So holding this posture, so my interlaced fingers are behind me, my knees are apart. Let your back do what it wants to do. You might feel a gentle compression again in that low back. Extension in the belly. And for me, I feel like I'm targeting my rotator cuff, my shoulders, the muscles that hold the shoulders together, shoulder joint. So we're gently stressing that the muscles around the rotator cuff, around the shoulder joint, or the muscles of the rotator cuff muscles. And also I feel it in the thoracic spine. You can bring your palms together if you don't want to interlace your hands. So I like to keep the elbows apart enough so I can place my head between my upper arms as I open up the shoulders here. I feel like it's a good neck release too. Notice resistance, but also notice release. You're almost there, probably a minute. You can tuck your toes under, and you can always use a blanket for knee support as well. You can untuck the toes, whatever works. If you feel too much or any numbness in your hands, you might have to release a little bit. Come up a little higher. Find that happy space. Play with your sweet edge, right? You're playing with the edge of the pose. All right, come on back up. Walk your knees forward towards your blocks. You can move those blocks aside. Come down into prone Shavasana. Turn your cheek so you're on the left side of your cheek here. Take the left arm out. Bend the right knee, bring it up. So now we're doing half frog and open wing. So as you see, my left arm is straight out from my left shoulder, and I don't know if you see this, but I'm bending the right knee towards my chest like I did the other side. And here I can turn a little bit, maybe, not everyone, right? You might turn a little, put your hand on your waist, or keep your hand on the mat. Or maybe lift your arm up And feel that compression in the shoulders. Shoulder blades coming in towards each other. And this arm, this left arm here, this can be any height you want. But if you can get it shoulder height, why not? So this also feels like a neck release. Try to soften into the floor here. Okay, just try to soften. You can move around in this too, like if you're okay like this for a while, then you're okay like this for a while, maybe you go back. So you want to play with that edge. Notice release. Notice the target areas. Notice compression in the right hip joint as you bring that knee up, maybe a little higher. Almost there. Just have like another 30 seconds or so. Okay, extend your right leg. Come into prone shavasana. I like to cross my arms. I prefer doing that, resting down. Take a few moments and feel the effects of the postures. Notice your neck. Do you feel a neck release? Maybe your shoulders feel warm, just kind of notice that. Okay, let's press yourself up. Let's come to child again. Coming back into child. And then don't forget to notice what your breath is like and what your thoughts are like, right? Notice your thoughts, welcome them, right? Let them come through. Be the witness to your thoughts as you hold child a little bit longer. Let's come up onto the knees. And we're going to come to a toe squat. We won't hold this as long, maybe like a minute, but if it's too much for you, then, just come back to child or come back to prone shavasana. Okay. You'll have to follow along. We're going to hold this about a minute. You can I'm doing this on purpose, keeping my hands down, but says I want you to really kind of release the neck. So here I notice the target area, and certainly in the quads. You might not, though, if your quads are pretty extended, Like I said, everyone's different. Maybe in the knees, of course, you feel some tension. The toes, I have my toes under. I'm sitting on my heels. My toes are up, so I call it the toe squat. We call it that. But if I extend my neck down, I let my head hang down like this, I feel tension in the back of the neck. It's a nice mild to moderate stress, right? What we're looking for. That's what we're looking for in this. You can move your head side to side. And you're also rounding your spine, as I'm doing. You're rounding it. I'm actually doing it on purpose. So you're getting that stretch in the thoracic area, upper back. Okay. Back of the neck. Tucking the chin, stimulating the thyroid. Move your head side to side. Nice neck stretch here. Yes and no, right? Up and down. Okay, if you think you're ready to do this, let's come up. You're going to straighten those legs a little bit, even keep them bent. So bend them once you're up. You straighten them, but then you might have to soften the knees. And you can hold the arms and dangle. So in yin, this is called dangle, right? Like I said, they have different names, but we know this as ragdoll. Nod your head yes and no, but let's hold this pose. All right. So I'm going to set that timer though. All right. So we're going to hold it. If you feel dizzy down here, keep your head up or don't do it. Come to mountain. Okay. We'll only hold this about a minute and a half. Nod your head. So here we are releasing neck tension, and I like to take my hand to the whole skull and take my fingers to the ridge, the base of the head here, ridge of the skull here, occipital ridge, and press down a little bit. And when I bring the head just a little, like extending that cervical spine, I feel it all the way down my back. Get weight in your heels so you don't topple over. I do that for a moment. Again, I hold on, but I feel all of this stretching, I feel target area in the back of the legs, the hamstring fibers, a gentle stress, and you can straighten them up if you want to feel a little more stress in the back of that leg, the hamstrings. Drive it into your heels. Again, nodding the head is always a nice thing. Dangle pose. Walk your hands out, bend your knees, walk to the front of your mat, step your right foot back and drop your right knee. Okay. So we're going to come into dragon. But for today, show these props on in your way so you can see me. I'm going to wiggle the left foot off, like I have my toes off the mat. My right knee is down. You can tuck your back toes under. Sometimes people find that releases other tension that they have in their leg or knee. All right. My hands are on the floor here, but you can use blocks under your hands, but what we're going to do is make this a little different. Okay. We're going to walk our hands as far as we can, or as far as you can, to the right. So I'm walking all the way to the right here. Now, certainly you can come down, if that's in your practice, to your elbows, all right? But I want you to, more importantly, try to walk away from that left knee with your hands. You can use blocks, as a lot of us feel more comfortable with blocks. You know, you could be up like this and drop the elbows, but if you're happy without the blocks or you don't have any, that's fine too, okay? Release your neck. So when you're down like that, I'll demo without blocks so you can see that a little bit. When I'm on the other side, you'll see it even more. But here, this side, you can see that left foot off. Okay, you got about 3 more minutes, okay? So we're holding this for 4 minutes and dragging. Remember, everyone's tissue tolerance is different. So if you're holding this dragon pose and it just feels like, wow, this is enough, I can do this for a minute, you know, whatever, it's still good. Just come out, rest in child, rest in prone shavasana on your stomach or something, and then join us for the other side when we're ready. You could do that, okay? So I'm just walking as far as I can. All right. Relax the neck. See if you notice resistance and see if you notice release. We're almost there. So I'm feeling in the target area for me is this left hip joint for sure. I feel a mild to moderate stress on that left side, left inner thigh. I'm externally rotating the hips. We're doing external rotation here. You can move that left foot to the little toe side of the mat, and that will increase the stress on the left side. You might not want to do that though, you know. If you were down on your elbows, come to your hands. And then everybody wiggle the foot in just a little. Just come onto your mat so the foot is straight on here. If you have a block and want to use it, place it under your right hand and place the left hand on the thigh. And we're going to twist to the left. Now you can still then turn the foot out if you want, but if you're happy like this, I was just giving you a little break to bring it in a little, but you can still do an external rotation here. Okay. So now you're in this dragon twist. Okay, let's hold that. Okay, so remember, come out, back off, whatever you need to do. Play your edge. Now try not to watch the breath just for a moment. So try to give exclusive attention to the sensations in your body as you hold this dragon twist. You can have your right hand on the mat too. You could even drop your elbow down. I have to go like this if you want on your block and twist. Right? Some people bend the back knee or tuck the toes under, right? Remember I showed you that. Don't forget, if that felt like a good release for you, tuck the toes under. You can look down. So it's more functional alignment, not really like a lot of us, a younger yoga and all is aesthetic, perfectly moving the arm and the leg. But here it's kind of, yin looks kind of messy, looks kind of messy. So, which is good, It's kind of all put together and it's all based on your own tolerance. Remember, it's the shape of your bones that determine, how we're going to move. You're almost there. Well, you got another minute at least here, minute and a half maybe. If you can hold it, go ahead. If not, again, do what you need to do. Try to soften into the posture, play the edge. I feel a gentle tension in the outer left hip, the glute. The hip joint, lots of places, in this pose, all lower body mostly. But even in my right shoulder, as I hold this, I might want to come up to my hand because my shoulder's getting a little tired. All right, that's it. So kind of walk everything back here and stretch that left leg out. Let's do this. Let's come into prone shavasana. Drop your arms. Turn your cheek to the other side. Completely melt down here. Let everything integrate. All right. So coming back up, we're going to bring ourselves to our hands and knees, and we are going to bring that left foot forward. Okay, wait a second. Right foot forward. I knew I was on that side already. All right, so here you are in a lunge position. Again, keep blocks handy, or at least one block would be awesome if you think it was helpful. Okay. All right, dragon on this side now. I'm going to wiggle this right foot off. My toes are off the mat. Now, what I was saying on the other side, I was going this way, but now you can see the hands. I walk the hands all the way to the left as far as I can, away from this right foot. You can tuck the toes under, right? And you find a happy place. You can use both blocks or one block. You can use them under your hands, right? Like that. And we're holding this dragon pose, this variation dragon pose. I feel compression in the right hip. Okay. Maybe I want more compression. I might bring my elbows down or lower arms down. But maybe that's too much compression for me right now. Maybe it's, going to bother me a little. I might keep my hands on the blocks. You might even lift the blocks, right? Even higher. So holding the posture, more gradual sensation. Okay, now try not to watch the breath. Try to give exclusive attention now on this side to the sensations in the body. I'm targeting, I feel that stretch in that left quad. See what you notice. If I untuck my toes, it changes that a little bit. Maybe I'll try coming down to my lower arms. Release the neck. Play your sweet edge. So if you need to come up again, come up. Almost there. Nice job. Coming back in. Now come back to lunge. Okay, so your hands on either side of the foot. Take a block if it's necessary next to your right foot. Put your left hand here. Put your right hand on your thigh. Twist to the right. Okay, 3 minutes. Hold that. You can tuck your toes. You might find it, you want to come down to your lower arm, your elbow. You can turn your toes out as well, make it more external rotation of the hip. I turn my toe out off the mat. I'm purposely leaning more into my left side. I'm using my right hand with a little gentle pressure on the right thigh. So when I do that, I feel more extension or gentle stress, a mild to moderate stress here on the bone on the left side. You're almost there. You can nod your head, move your head side to side. Let your head hang down. You're almost there. All right. Walking everything back. You're going to want to bring that right leg back, stretch it out, and then come to a child pose. Take your time, come down. Then you might want your knees together in child or maybe widened, you know, and then come forward. You can cross your arms, take a rest. Just a couple of resting breaths. And then come up. And I actually want you to do a downward facing dog. It's a little more young-like. Walk it out a little bit. But I think it's a good way to walk those hips out. You know, kind of counter stretch this a little bit. Now hold the posture just for a little bit more. Notice the backs of your legs. Notice your hips. Move your head side to side. Nod your head, releasing neck. Shoulders are working here. Drop your knees. And here we'll be on the knees again. So if you need any support under your knees, go ahead. In saddle pose, I suggest, to be our last one and only for like a couple, maybe a couple minutes, minute and a half. I suggest you bring your hands back here onto your blocks or onto the floor. Actually, you don't need blocks. You could even go like this and stretch back. Squeeze those shoulders together. See how I'm just leaning, really leaning back. My buttocks are inside my heels. As I lean back, I got the hands in. Some of you I know would probably rather have your hands away from you, and that's fine. Your fingers away. You could do this. It's just another place that you're targeting on the arms. So if this feels too constricted or uncomfortable to your wrist, try this. And you can walk the hands back as much as you want, almost as much, you know. So that's good like this. Right? So find that happy place for you. And this is called saddle. And here, widen your knees. Try widening the knees. If it's too much, keep your knees closer. But you can widen your knees, right? And you can drop your chin down, feel this targeted at the back of the neck. Certainly I'm feeling a gentle stress here in the quads. A little bit. We've been doing a lot of quad work, so it's very mild. It's almost like a 1, like probably like a 1 if I had to go from 1 to 10. 1. Maybe not for you, I don't know. The knees are getting a good stretch. I squeeze back and here in saddle pose and breathe. There's also a half saddle where you extend one knee, and it's actually a little bit more challenging, but you could try that at home. One leg is straight, one knee is bent like this. I don't know. I find it a little different. So, and putting a block under the buttock is helpful. All right, you're almost there. I'm having you hold this a little longer than I thought. All right, come on up. Let's stretch the backs of those legs out. Just stretch them out in that animal stretch. One knee, the other knee. And then, yay, let's come down to Shavasana. Okay, so come on down. So I'll lead you through Shavasana, but I want you to get comfortable. So stretch out your legs and take a breath in, exhale, and sink in. Now connect with your breath. And now take a moment as well now to notice any changes in the body. So we are remodeling collagen here. You just stretched your connective tissue, the fascia. Sink in, settle down. Lying on your back if you want, just like I was doing. Mentally traveling through your body, relaxing the top of your head, your forehead, your eyes, your eyebrows, your eyelids, your cheeks, and your nose. Exhale, inhale completely. Relax the mouth and the jaw and the chin, the neck and the shoulders. Upper arms, lower arms, the wrists, the hands, the fingers and fingertips. Feel as if you're exhaling from your fingertips up the arms and shoulders and face to the nostrils, and inhaling back to the fingertips. Exhale, inhale completely. Relax the fingertips and the fingers and the hands and the wrists, the lower arms, the upper arms, the shoulders, upper back, and chest. Concentrating at the center of your chest. Exhale, inhale completely. Relax the stomach and the abdomen, the lower back and the hips and the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, the feet and toes. Exhaling as though your whole body's exhaling, and inhaling as though your whole body's inhaling. Expelling all your tension, worries, anxieties, and inhaling that vital energy, that peace and relaxation. Exhale, inhale completely. Relax the toes and the feet and the ankles and the calves and the thighs, the knees, the hips and lower back, the shoulders, the stomach and chest. Concentrating at the center of your chest. Exhale, inhale completely. Relax the upper back and the shoulders, upper arms and lower arms, your wrists, your hands, your fingers and fingertips. Exhale, inhale completely. Relax the fingertips and the fingers, the hands, the wrists, the lower arms, upper arms, the shoulders, the neck, the chin and the jaw, and the mouth and nostrils. Exhale, inhale completely. Relax the cheeks, the eyelids, the eyes, the eyebrows, the space between your eyebrows, your forehead, to the very top of your head. Over the next 30 seconds, let your mind be aware of that calm and serene flow of your breathing. Let your mind make that gentle and conscious effort to guide your breath so it remains smooth and deep and even, without pause and without sound. I wish for repose in our bodies, stillness in our minds, and peace in our souls. Deepening your breath, move your fingers and toes, and come back slowly. And when you're ready, take your time rolling to your side. Take a resting breath or two here on your side if you're not already up. And if you're not up, that's great. Stay in Shavasana. You can use your hands to press yourself up when you're ready. Maybe close your eyes or keep your eyes slightly downward. And may we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we create strength among one another. May our study be filled with brilliance and light. And may there be no enmity between us. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, and peace. You can rub your hands together and warm them up. Cup them gently over your eyes or bring them to your heart. Open the eyes. Open the fingers like windows. And bring your hands to your heart. Namaste. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Namaste. Thank you for coming to Yin. If you have any questions, email me, please, call, whatever. And take good care and continue practicing. Be well, be happy. Love you all. Okay, I'll see you. Bye.